4 injured in oil tanker fire pass away. Prime Minister Majaliwa directs Morogoro leadership to build monuments at accident victims' burial sites. And in sports, Tanzania to host East Africa primary and secondary schools competition. Good evening. This is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. 4 out of the 43 injured in the oil tanker accident in Morogoro, who were transferred to Muhimbili National Hospital, have died. This was confirmed by the head of the Communications Division, Amnieli Aligesha, who said that 39 of the injured are still in the hospital and urged Tanzanians to go and donate blood. In another move, the chairman of NCCR Mageuzi Party, James Mbatia, has condemned the actions of Tanzanians disparaging those who lost their lives and told them to have the knowledge on how to identify and protect themselves from disasters.
We have 39 patients, but our medical team, pharmacists and the entire team at Muhimbili, we are working together to save the lives of those injured in the tragedy. For those who can donate blood, we urge you to come forward and donate.
And Prime Minister Majaliwa has directed the leadership of Morogoro region to ensure a monument is built at the area where the victims of the tanker accident are buried, so as to remember the historic incident.
Once relatives have identified their departed graves, then allow for those who would want to cement them. And for the region, this area can be set aside for relatives to come and remember their loved ones. 60 bodies were yesterday laid to rest. DNA testing was also completed for all the 71 victims who lost life in the fire. So far, we are grateful that peace has been restored. 59 victims are still receiving treatment at our Muhimbili National Hospital and Morogoro Regional Hospital. Whenever there is tragedy, we must stand united more than anything. Without taking into consideration our political affiliation, we've come to help the injured with regards to treatment. It is important to come and see how those who survived are faring. I was passing by when the fire got to me. When I arrived home, my mother brought me to the hospital. I was watching those who were scooping oil. All of a sudden, there was an explosion. I ran away and took my clothes off.
And an oil tanker containing 33,000 liters of oil owned by Njombe filling station was in an accident and caught fire at Hanga and Kantinta area in Mataba Council, Ruvuma region at 10 p.m. Sunday night. The driver, known as Hubeti Mpate's whereabouts are still unknown as the police continue to find more information about him.
The cabin, as in the whole head, was burnt. All tires from the front to the rear were burnt. We as the government will continue to investigate and see where the driver of this car is. For now, it is possible that he was stuck and then burnt inside the car, especially in the cabin, or he saved himself and ran. Our job is to make follow-up and find out the fate of this car's driver. When we got here, we did not see the driver. We just saw the car on fire. Until we had put the fire down, there was no driver. And even investigating to see whether the driver was in the car, but up to when we're done, and even up to now, we don't know where the driver is.
Na ulinzi uliimarisha toka usiku
The security was strengthened since last night, and here I am with the members of the Regional and District Security Committee. You can see I am in citizen's attire because I was here since last night after receiving the initial information where the driver known as Hubert Mpate is still searched for because he has not been found.
Residents of Nditi village in Nachingwea district, Lindi region, have asked the government to permit them to continue to mine at Nditi mine after the government revoked the mining licenses of investors who were mining there. The residents made the request to the Minister of Energy, Dr. Biteko, as he conducted a one-day visit in the district, who asked them to be patient as the matter is being handled according to the law.
The second matter is to ensure that everyone who worked on the project gets paid for it. I think that I am correct in saying that many of you have already started to be paid. And based on the information which I obtained, more than 30 million shillings has already been paid to all of the people who worked on the project. I would like to thank the district commissioner for inviting the Minister of Minerals to come and visit the site of the project. Also, I am grateful because we were able to have discussions with the Minister of Minerals about this project, which is set to benefit many people. I am also happy that the minister was satisfied with the project. Just as an example, the sand which you see here was dug up by more than 500 people, and all of those people have been paid more than 35 million shillings for their labors. Secondly, you are fortunate to have been born here. Yes, for although other districts have their own mineral resources, God himself saw it fit to ensure that you were born here. As for others, the Almighty created them and then he sent them to Gator. God also ensured that he blessed the people of Gator with gold. And as for you, the people of Michinga, the Almighty ensured that you would all be born here. Plus, he blessed you abundantly with iron ore.
And Tanzania People's Defense Forces, TPDF's 24KJ Kigoma Force has completed an army exercise in Kigoma region's forest, warning criminals in and out of the country who are using the forest to hide when conducting poaching, robberies and carjacking, causing a fear to residents and travelers.
All those with bad intentions to use this forest, today is the end. As the guardians of this nation, we must be alert day and night to make sure that our country is safe, so our citizens can carry on with their daily economic and political activities, as well as social affairs, which will make it easier to reach our president's objective of middle economy. For anyone who thinks that he can use any area as a hiding place, he should know that he is not alone. We are also present. The only way to be safe is to stay away from criminal activities. They've welcomed a lot of people who come to work on the farms, but later on they turn to crime. It is the duty of the police force to protect the safety of our communities. I ask police officers to carry out this duty with diligence.
And water woes for residents of Omuga village in Uroria district, Mara region, as well as livestock about to come to an end after over 3,700 residents from 8 suburbs of the village volunteered to build a dam. This will also alleviate the challenge faced by women in the village who are forced to wake up in the middle of the night and walk for long distances in search of water.
Matatizo tuliyokuwa nayo makubwa ya maji.
In the past, we had water shortage, but we are hopeful that things will get a little easier for us. We've had to walk for over 10 miles in search of water. Teachers end up coming to class late because they waste so much time in search of water.
Kwa nyuma tulikuwa na matatizo ya maji.
We had no enough water for personal use and to water the livestock. But today we are glad that Saidi has done this for us. He dared enough.
Tunatoka kwa wake mpaka Utegi ndio tutapata maji.
A few days after the start of the pesticides disbursement season for cashew nuts, pesticides researchers have caught a consignment of sulfur that is used on cashew nut leaves that were expired, being sold in Newala, Tandahimba and Masasi districts, something that has been mentioned to contribute to sabotaging the efforts of cashew nut farmers.
Registered business owners are complaining so much that because of you, they are not able to sell at all when they pay tax and other charges, while you don't pay anything. You've broken the law and you will be punished accordingly. There is no mercy that will be shown in this regard.
And the president of Zanzibar and chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Al-Hajj Dr. Ali Muhammad Shein, has assured citizens of Zanzibar that his government has set aside sufficient funds to ensure health and education services continue to be provided for free in both islands of Pemba and Unguja. Al-Hajj Shein gave the stance during his Council of Eid speech at Maghribi district, attended by top government and political party leaders.
The government has set aside sufficient funds for free health and education as described in the CCM Party Manifesto of the General Election 2015-20. I urge every citizen to keep working together to grow economy and meet objectives set with efficiency. May God give us strength to implement our development plan.
And that's all for national news. International news is next. And in international news, as the debate to have Kenyans go to a referendum to change the current constitution takes shape in Kenya, a section of leaders who are supporting the calls to hold a referendum to change the constitution are now rooting for a referendum that addresses issues affecting Kenyans. This comes even as the select committee appointed by President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga to collect the views of Kenyans awaits submit its final findings to the two leaders.